And that is the proper way to start an affair at Aqueduct Racetrack. Good morning, everybody. I'm Tim Minton. I'm the communications director of the MTA. And this is not well known, but I am one of the very few people who has actually run a competitive human race for purse money on this track. 35 years ago, you're skeptical. I have the indisputable visual evidence right here. All right, that's the winner's circle photo. Let's just say, in terms of how I fared in the race, which was from the gate at a mile under allowance conditions, they don't have a Minton statue here. They're going to need to move over next to Secretariat at Belmont Park. But it was fun, and it was tied to, I think it was the Cigar Mile Day. Do they still call it the Cigar Mile? No?
Yes, this is Cigar. It was the Naira Mile.
It was the Naira Mile. Okay, I guess it was. It says Naira Media Mile. Anyway, one of my memories here, I also spent some time with a character who you will know. Harvey Pack had an office under the grandstand. He and I used to take the Aqueduct Special, which we just wrote in one last time today, and he would tell stories. And my friend Andy Serling is going to tell some stories today. David O'Rourke is here, the head of the New York Racing Association. Bill Amorosa Jr. right there. He runs all of New York City's subway system. We've got Laura Shepard representing the Great 59. It ran until 81. At the start, it cost 50 cents. And when it finished, it cost $1.50, and people would pay it to go nonstop from Manhattan, one stop into Brooklyn, and then nonstop from Hoyt-Schermerhorn. It's been a race day special. Transit has always been linked to racing here. One of the subway system stations is named for this place, Aqueduct Racetrack Station, which is right there. So there have been a lot of memories for a lot of people. Today is bittersweet, although we are thrilled that the New York Racing Association is moving its flagship operation from here, where the corporate offices have been forever, to Belmont Park, which is all rebuilt. And people who go there in the fall may not have used the beautiful Long Island Railroad Station at Elmont UBS Arena, which has now been around for 5 years, but we are looking forward to having them all aboard. There are 89 trains that pass through Elmont UBS Arena every single day, and 159 trains on weekends. So long gone are the days when if you went to Belmont, you had to look at the schedule and see, a couple of trains would run on a side spur on a Saturday afternoon. That's not the case anymore, where it's on the main line, and it has never been easier, therefore, to get to the races. Islander fans have been using it for years. Now it's time to start welcoming horse fans. We can't wait to see you out there. And now, without further delay, it is post time for the head of the New York Racing Association, David O'Rourke, everybody.
Thank you, Tim, and thank you to the MTA. You've played a vital role in Aqueduct's storied history, making today a fitting tribute to the Big A and to our loyal fans. And I think right now I'm going to officially coin today Aqueduct Special Day. Thank you. As we gather to say goodbye this weekend, we pause to honor the champions who made this track legendary. From the undefeated brilliance of Ruffian to the historic strides of Secretariat, Kelso, and Cigar, the greatness witnessed on this dirt will ever be forever etched in racing history. I'd also like to throw out compliments to Richie Migliori, who's the all-time leading rider here, who's still an analyst on our shows. Richie won more races here than anyone else. While Aqueduct closes its doors on Sunday, its spirit, along with our races, trainers, and jockeys, will transition to an exciting new era in downstate racing. Thanks to Governor Hochul's steadfast support, we're preparing to unveil the finest racing facility in the country. The reimagined Belmont Park will open for live racing on September 18th. With dozens of daily LIR trains at the adjacent Elmont UBS Arena station, the new Belmont Park will be seamlessly accessible to all our fans. As one door closes, a new one opens. Alongside UBS Arena, this world-class destination will benefit sports fans, racing participants, and New York's economy and culture for generations to come. Thank you, and now I'll hand this over to Bill.
Great. Good morning, everyone. Today's a great day to be out here celebrating subway history and racing history. And the subway has a very long history of serving important destinations around the city, and this is one of them. We've been serving it since this line opened in the 1950s, and the Aqueduct Special provided one-stop service from 42nd Street in Manhattan, stop at Hoyt-Schermerhorn in Brooklyn, coming out here in about 35 minutes, which is an incredibly fast travel time. Anytime we can bring out the vintage trains to honor the subway system, it's a great day, and I'm glad to be part of it. Also want to share a personal anecdote that part of my love for the subway may have actually started here. As a kid growing up in Queens, my family would come out to Aqueduct for the weekend flea markets, and I would see the A train going by. Right by. Back then it was R44 cars. Today we're running the most modern cars in the system, the R211s. And really upgrading the experience for our riders here. Even after the Aqueduct Special, the A train provides express service between Manhattan and Brooklyn out here to Aqueduct. And we've been proud to serve tens of thousands of customers coming out here, both at the Aqueduct North Conduit Station and at the Aqueduct Racetrack Station, which will remain open for regular A train service. Also, I'll make a plug for New York City Transit. In addition to Long Island Railroad, you can take the subway to Jamaica and get on Queens local buses to get out to Belmont Park. So customers that want to use subways and buses have an option there as well. And anyone that wants to come out and enjoy the Rockaway beaches or any of the destinations on the A line, we're ready to serve you on the subway. Thank you. And I'll turn it over to Andy Serling, the NYRA's senior racing analyst.
Thanks a lot. I'll also add, as somebody who's ridden the MTA to Belmont for many years, you can take the F train to the end of the line and get the Q2 or N6 out to Belmont. So there's actually a lot of great options to get there. And, it's funny hearing Tim talk about running around here. I never ran around the track, but I've made a lot of deposits at Aqueduct over the years for sure. And, I moved here. Well, my first trip to Aqueduct was in 1974. I used to come out here in the 70s with my grandmother probably 2-3 times a year, and we always took the Aqueduct Special. I can vividly remember taking the train in Port Authority back in 1974 when I was 12 years old for my first trip. And there's something incredibly romantic to me about being able to take a subway out to the racetrack. And I've probably been to Aqueduct conservatively 3,000 times. And my guess would be, if the number's 3,000, 2,960 of them were on public transportation taking the A train. Aqueduct's the Auteuil of New York City. If you've been to Paris, Auteuil is right on the metro line. And, my memories of taking the train and coming here every day, they're great. I mean, there's no better way to come. People say to me, why don't you have a car? Why don't you drive? And I say, why would I want to waste my time in a car when I can take the A train right out to Aqueduct? And it's really a great thing. And it's part of the experience of Aqueduct. Most of the hardcore players at Aqueduct at one time or another have taken the train out to Aqueduct. And it is, as Dave mentioned, a racetrack that has an enormous history in horse racing. I know, people talk about it's a city racetrack. It is a city racetrack, but it's the greatest city racetrack. And the history of Aqueduct involves so many of the greats of the game, going back as far as you remember. Maybe the greatest race of the 20th century, Dr. Fager, Damascus, and Buckpasser, took place here in 1967. But the first time I came to the Wood Memorial, which is our final prep for the Kentucky Derby, used to be run 2 weeks before the Derby. In 1976, I saw Bold Forbes win the Wood Memorial, and 2 weeks later, he upset the heavily favored Honest Pleasure in the Derby. And I think that was a period of time where 3 straight Foolish Pleasure, Bold Forbes, and Seattle Slew all won the Wood Memorial, went on to win the Kentucky Derby. The history of this place is enormous, and it really wouldn't have been possible without the MTA, and I think their generosity in bringing this special train out. I can tell you, as standing and waiting for trains many times in my life, I've seen these vintage trains go by, and I've always thought, why can't I get on that train? Well, today the MTA graciously allowed me to get on the train for one final trip on the Aqueduct Special, and it is a special place that we will miss, but we're looking so forward to the future at Belmont Park. And as you heard, there's so many ways to get out there through public transportation as well. But the new Belmont's going to be sensational. Aqueduct will be gone as a racetrack, but the memories will last forever. Thank you.
Thanks, Andy. The race you were talking, you said there was a famous race, but that wasn't the Triple Dead Heat, was it?
No, that was.
There was one here, right?
1945, I think. 45, roughly. Yeah.
You've been around a long
I
time.
would know
How many
that.
Triple Dead Heats in racing? It's very rare, right?
There was one in a quarter horse race the other day.
Okay, well, it's quarter horse racing. Whatever. Very well. We are ready for question time, Kayla.
All right, we'll start with questions, and just a heads up to news media here and watching that we will have a B-roll link of the train ride out to Aqueduct that will be in the press release. Do we have any on-topic questions first? Okay.
Why did the MTA?
Get your microphone there.
Why did the MTA want to do this? You obviously had to disrupt service a little bit. How did this come together, and why did you think this was a good time to roll out that train?
Yeah, well, so a couple answers to that. First of all, no disruption to service. Regular service, the Aqueduct Special was inserted in between regular trains, so nobody didn't get where they needed to go, and some people got there faster because that train whipped through Brooklyn. And I mean, the idea, really, to be fair, was Pat McKenna, an executive at the New York Racing Association, who sent me a text about 4 months ago and said, hey, wouldn't it be cool to run one last Aqueduct Special? And we thought about it at the MTA, and Bill Amorosa, who runs the subways, embraced it, and we thought, yeah, that's a great idea, and here we are. Other questions? Mike Aronson from the Daily News.
Question, Mr. O'Rourke mentioned Belmont and the Elmont Station. Will the actual Belmont Park Station be open for any days or just the day of the stakes? I mean, because it's actually closer to the track.
Yeah, the answer is on special event days like the Belmont Stakes, it is possible, and there was a Belmont Stakes there in 22 when there was the Elmont UBS station, and we did open the Belmont Stakes, Belmont Park station for the Belmont Stakes, so it's possible. But there's also shuttle buses, and it is a relatively short walk on the day, so people can use either station on the big days. And I think the Breeders' Cup is coming right in 27, so we'll probably open the Belmont Park station for that next fall, 27. But otherwise, there's great service and it's easy access.
All right.
Other questions?
Yep. Carolyn Gessoff, Channel 2.
Thank you. This is for
Carolyn.
David. Please, I know there's a master plan in the works for this property, but what will happen with all of the history of racing in this building and with the grandstand itself?
Well, with the grandstand, big part of the grandstand is the casino. I believe the state will have an RFP out, I believe, for the property. In terms of the history, we've packed up a lot of the art. There's a lot of art here. And we were just having a conversation about maybe putting the eighth pole out at the station. So we'll do some fun stuff, and then we'll have a bunch of stuff in storage. And over the next few years, we'll start working through like what kind of museums and whatnot we can place this historical memorabilia in.
All right. I think we're all good here.
Other questions?
All right.
Anybody? Great. Then I think the terrific Eganom Sabafia, who is here with us, is going to play us out. Am I right? Yes, sir. And the first thing he's going to play, you'll recognize this from the Belmont Stakes Day. Sidewalks of New York, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Did somebody, my stuff. Randy, tell me about your lifetime experience with the train on which you sit.